Fantastic Four by Dan Slott and Sarah Pichelli is my pick for the best comic book of 2018. Mostly because it's the only comic book I actively read and followed in 2018. I've found myself reading significantly less and less comics as they come out week to week. It's not that I've fallen out of love with the medium, I love it just as much as ever. It's just that it's become a lot harder for me to do so consistently. It's become a lot harder to keep up with everything that comes out every week because there's just so much of it. I do try to do my best to keep up with what's going on in the world of comics, regardless of whether or not I'm actually reading the book. I know about Saga's hiatus and the crazy cliffhanger it ended on. I know about Venom being apparently better than Watchmen. And I do know that there are a lot of great indie books out there that most of the more mainstream, highbrow outlets recommend. Like, did you know there's a comic book called My Boyfriend is a Bear? That sounds amazing. But in terms of what I'm actively reading, I'm only really actively reading two titles, Fantastic Four and Doomsday Clock. And whatever this guy pays me to read on Wulff Den Live. And if we're being honest, I don't necessarily think that that qualifies me for being able to pick the one comic to be the best of 2018. Ideally, I would have read a lot more books so I have a general sense of what's going on in the world of comics so I can better pick the one best book of the year. But you know what? F that. Fantastic Four by Dan Slott and Sarah Pichelli is the best comic book of 2018. And here's why. The Fantastic Four returned to comics in 2018 after a 3-year hiatus. Now, if you ask me, that is way too damn long for Marvel's first family to be away from store shelves. I mean, this is the series that basically created the Marvel comics that we know it to be today. Canceling the Fantastic Four would be akin to DC canceling Action Comics. It's just not something that should be done. Relaunching it is one thing, but to straight up take it off the shelves because your chairman doesn't like the way 20th Century Fox handles the characters, that's just nonsense. In 2017, I made a video saying that it was time for Marvel to finally bring back the Fantastic Four, and almost a year after that video came out, they finally did just that. Now, no, of course I'm not saying that I'm responsible for getting the Fantastic Four back into comic book shops. But I certainly am thinking it very loudly. Now, ultimately, maybe all Marvel needed to do was just put out a book called The Fantastic Four and have the original four members in it regardless of quality. I probably would have bought it no matter who was writing or illustrating it just because I wanted to see more Fantastic Four stories again. But the fact that the book came out and it was actually good and in some instances flat out great just made the whole thing even that much more worthwhile. Dan Slott created a story that was all about family. Everybody says that the Fantastic Four is about a family at its core, but only the best writers know how to bring that through in the comics. And with only 4 issues, Slott has shown that he not only understands the importance of this theme, but isn't afraid to make it the focal point of the series. And Sarah Pichelli's art is stellar as always. The way that she draws expressions and motion, combined with the color work of Marte Gracia, created the perfect science fiction look and tone. It's just a feel-good comic. Like, you read it and you don't feel sad or horrified or questioning your self-worth. You just read it and you feel good. Hopeful even. I mean, yeah, the series is only 4 issues long at this point, but they are some damn good 4 issues and a great barometer of what's to come for Marvel's first family. Now, all that being said, is this really the best comic of 2018? When people look back on this year, are they instantly going to think Dan Slott and Sarah Pichelli's Fantastic Four? In all honesty, probably not. They'll probably think of Immortal Hulk or Rise of the Black Panther or Miracle Man. They'll probably think of Bendis' Superman work or Tom King's Batman work, despite the whole debacle around issue 50. They'll think of Smarty Pants books like Sabrina or wacky little indie titles like My Boyfriend is a Bear. Seriously, it's about a woman who dates a grizzly bear. I'm gonna buy this right now, hold on a second. And if we're being completely honest, I think Doomsday Clock is an overall better story. I think it's very smartly written, I think the artwork is impeccable, and I really like what they're trying to do with the series overall. But Doomsday Clock is way too damn slow for its own good. Its slow release schedule has really crippled its momentum. And each issue is leaving me less and less certain that we're going to get the answers that we want, or the answers that we think we want. But Fantastic Four is exactly what I wanted it to be, and I'd go as far to say it's exactly what I needed it to be. I wanted a book that brought the team back to the Marvel U proper, and I needed a book that emphasized the family dynamic and crazy-ass adventures that the Fantastic Four were known for. And this is the book that I got. But again, maybe it is too soon to be singing the praises of this book. After all, only 4 issues were released this year, plus a wedding special. Issue 5 comes out the same day as this video, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. For all I know, it could be trash. But I don't think so. I think the issues we got so far are a clear indication of where Slott and Pichelli want to take this series, and I think it's a great new direction for a returning cast of characters. Now, maybe this isn't what you were exactly expecting for a video about the best comics of 2018. Maybe you were expecting a more comprehensive list, a video with more titles to choose from. Maybe you wanted me to pick a more mainstream book like Scott Snyder's Justice League or Tom Taylor's X-Men Red or one of IDW's Transformers books. Apparently, those are spectacular. But for me, the answer is the Fantastic Four by Dan Slott and Sarah Pichelli. Now, if you think something else deserves the title of Best of 2018, I'm sure you will let me know either down below or anywhere on the internet. And in fact, I highly encourage you to do so. When I recommend comics, I never want them to be a hardline, definitive, this is what you have to read type of recommendation. More so, I want them to just be suggestions, ideas to help point people in the right direction and maybe get them discussing with others about what other books they should be reading, what other good titles are out there that are related to what I'm talking about in this video. So really, more than anything, that's what I want to do for my best comics of 2018 video. I want to talk with all of you about what you thought were the best comics of 2018. Reminisce about some of your favorite series and some of the ones that you didn't think got the attention that they deserved. Because ultimately, that is what comics are about. They're about bringing people together like a family, like the Fantastic Four. So that's gonna do it for me in 2018. Hopefully this wasn't another 20-minute video recommending comics to you. I mean, at least it's not recommending Aquaman. Thank you all so much for this incredible year. This really has been the best year of the Wulff Den so far, and I know both Bob and I are looking forward to making 2019 even better. So hope you all had a great Christmas and a wonderful new year. I will see you all in 2019 with a look at all the comic book movies coming out that year. So until then, like this video, share it with a friend, subscribe to see all of our stuff, and thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.